Elon Musk recently did a sit down with Jordan Peterson, which that's two brains right there. That
I just together that
oh my God.
amazing. I know. I just love. I sent that to my daughter-in-law, and I'm like, this is phenomenal. This just having these two men in the same room and the brains and the brilliance that is together. I just love. I cannot love that any harder.
Yeah. And I mean, watch the whole thing, obviously, but
so great.
We're going to share a couple clips. The first one is actually about Trump.
That's unbelievable.
I think there's something to be said that, America needs a strong leader, and where you have the perception of strength. Now, you have to admire that, Trump, after getting shot with blood streaming down his face, it could have been a second shooter, who knows? Nonetheless, was fist pumping, fight. After being shot. I mean, and this is not.
He's an ornery bastard. And he's funny too.
Yes, and he's brave. He has courage. This is instinctual courage. It's not calculated. It's not some arranged event. It's in the moment.
Well, you could see that then, because that was not a time when you're going
to see true courage in the moment.
Absolutely.
And if you want a leader who's going to deal with some very, very tough cookies out there, who's going to deal with a Putin or Kim Jong-un or
China.
Yeah, China. Or, they'll think twice about messing with Trump. They'll think twice.
Okay.
And poor Biden can't make it up the stairs, and obviously he's stepped out of the race. But nobody's going to be intimidated by Biden. It's impossible. I think they will be intimidated by a guy who was fist pumping after getting shot.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
This next clip is his experience, and this just took me back to my frustrating HR days, where he's talking about the damned if you do, damned if you don't situation that a lot of executives and hiring folks find themselves in when they're trying to do what the government tells them to do with respect to hiring practices. So this is an unbelievable example, but this is real world.
We're told for many years that we could not hire anyone who was not a permanent
resident.
Right.
They had to be that.
Well, so SpaceX develops advanced rocket technology, which is considered an advanced weapons technology because it's a core part of like intercontinental ballistic missiles. So there are only a handful of things in the sort of highest level of weapon technology, and rocket technology is one of those, because we could deliver a payload and basically bomb anywhere on Earth, from anywhere on Earth. So, I was told in no uncertain terms by the government that if we hired anyone who is not a permanent resident of the United States, had to have either a green card or a citizen, that I would go to prison. Because the presumption if somebody's not a permanent resident is that they will leave the United States and take the rocket technology from SpaceX to potentially to countries that would cause harm to the United States. Pretty, solid reasoning, I think. And then a few years ago, the Biden administration decided to sue SpaceX for failing to hire asylum seekers.
Unreal.
Yeah, I remember that.
So we're told on the one side that if we hire anyone who's not a permanent resident, we go to prison. Now we're told if we don't hire asylum seekers who are not people who've been granted asylum.
Oh my God.
Seekers.
They aspire to asylum. They are therefore not a permanent resident. But if we don't hire them, we also go to prison.
Right. Well, the purpose of being damned if you do and damned if you don't is to make damn sure that you're damned.
It's just absurd. All of it is completely absurd. And then I go back to what we talked about previously, which is this administration hates small businesses. They just hate business. They don't understand corporations. They don't understand how to run businesses because these people have been in the government forever and they've sucked off the American taxpayer forever. They don't understand how to build anything, grow anything, run anything. They don't. They just want to punish you and they just want to take your money. That's all they care about.
It's infuriating to hear stories like that. It's just such a great example of how big and bloated and useless government has become.
Yeah.
And
Aren't they the biggest employer now? The federal government is the biggest United States employer. I've read that somewhere. Am I wrong about that?
Sad. That's really sad.
It should not be the case, you guys.
Yeah.
Why do we allow that? It's gross.
It is. Zach, our friend Zach Abraham is from Bulwark Capital Management, is going to have another special inflation live seminar July 25th. This is tomorrow. It is happening at 3:30 Pacific time. And this is about inflation specifically being the silent killer of your financial portfolio. So if you are planning a retirement ever, this matters to you. And I'm sure that impacts literally everybody here. If you have not attended one of Zach's amazing seminars, please do not miss out on the opportunity, because it's great information. There's no like obligation. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. It's free to attend. You can get your questions answered. It's all fantastic information. Investment advisory services are offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. They involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Trek 24244. Get to knowyourriskradio.com is how you sign up. It's knowyourriskradio.com. Do not miss it tomorrow. This last clip from this interview that we have, and again, go back and watch the entire thing. But this is where Elon starts talking about his trans daughter. I mean, it's a daughter now. She's estranged. He's estranged from Elon.
Yeah.
They have not spoken. He was born as a Xavier. Now he's like I don't even know what. But they don't speak. And it's because at the age of 16, Xavier decided, I'm going to be a girl. And if you don't let me have all these drugs, I'm going to kill myself, essentially. And so Elon, desperate to save his son, now feels very, very much swindled by this entire, gender affirming culture.
Movement. It's yeah.
And so it's one of the reasons that he bought Twitter, actually, is to make sure that there was not this infestation on every social media platform of woke hive mind. Here he is.
God bless him. Yeah.
It wasn't explained to me that puberty blockers are actually just sterilization drugs. Anyway, and so I lost my son, essentially. They call it dead naming for a reason.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason it's called dead naming is because your son is dead. So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
He was so dear to him too.
Yeah.
I mean, he went on, and Jordan Peterson is just, God, he's so lovely. He's just such a wonderful man, the way that he handled that whole thing. But you can tell, I mean, that's obviously, this is so personal for Elon. Mm-hmm. And so it does give you a lot of insight into how he feels about all of this. And man, it just, you can see and hear the pain.
Yeah.
I
can't imagine.
I can't either. I can't imagine either. Like how awful that is. And then I was wondering when I saw that yesterday, I was like, I wonder if that kid, in 10, 15 years or even earlier is going to, like a lot of these kids, will change his mind about what he's done and then be like, crap, I shouldn't have done this.
And I'm screwed up forever now.
I'm screwed up forever. My body's screwed up. My mind is a mess. I screwed up because of this madness. And then what do?